Well, hi there, everyone, and welcome to the VIP Trade Room with Roger Scott and Matt Horton. Today is Tuesday, March 24th, and my name is Raleigh White, and I'm coming to you live from a beautiful sunny day here in Austin, Texas, and I'm going to be your moderator today. Now, in today's session, Roger is going to be covering a range of important topics, beginning with his midday market analysis and his updated stock watch list. Then we're going to pivot. He's going to give us a continued demonstration of the Pro Trader dashboard, how he uses the Pro Trader dashboard for swing trades. He's also going to share how he confirms trades using the Pro Trader dashboard toolset and how he selects the best options depending on the time of day. And lastly, folks, he's going to share with us his techniques for identifying anticipatory trades versus confirmation trades. Now, if you've got any questions during Roger's presentation, please type them in the chat window and we'll address them periodically throughout the session so as to not interfere with his presentation. And also remember, folks, that the chat is open to everyone and we have some ground rules. Always be kind and supportive in your posts. Please keep to the topic, no political discussions allowed whatsoever, and keep those side conversations between one or two of you to a minimum. All it does is interfere with the rest of us that are trying to listen and learn from the information that Roger's sharing, because after all, folks, he's here to give us an edge in the markets and to help us all become much more confident and consistent in our trading activities. Excuse me. Now, for those of you that were with us this morning at 8 o'clock for Roger's pre-market briefing, you'll note that there were several catalysts on tap that we needed to be aware of. On the energy front, we saw that crude up was up 2%, and all related stocks associated with energy are sky high. As far as the health sector is concerned, we noted that Gilead was up 3%. On the consumer front, Ralph Lauren was up 1%. In finance, Apollo was down 1%. As far as the international markets are concerned, Europe was up a half a point. Shanghai closed up 1.8%, and the Nikkei also closed up 1.4%. On the Fed front, we note that we have several reports coming out. We have productivity data coming out, but this is a delayed report looking back to the fourth quarter of last year. So I'm not sure how much weight or significance that holds. All that delay was due to the government shutdown. We also have the release of services and manufacturing flash PMI and the Richmond manufacturing information report coming out. So when people ask me, Raleigh, what are these catalysts about and why should I even pay attention? Well, from Roger's perspective, anytime that there's information that's either known or will become known during today's trading session, but it's not yet priced into the market, well, that's a volatility flashpoint. And that's what these catalysts are. Now, as it relates to Roger's pre-market stock watch list, you can see that he gave us 20 tickers to consider. On the short side, you can see that there were 10, and SMPL is underlined. And the reason that is that Roger specifically broke this one out and says he really likes how this is setting up. But he did also mention that if you'll note, there are a number of consumer stocks on his short list. And the reason that is typically in times of war, consumer stocks are the ones that take the hit. And that's what we're seeing here. As it relates to the longs, you can see that there were 10 longs there, and Roger freely admitted, he said, guys, I'm really having a hard time finding high quality longs, but these are the longs that are on my stock watch list. Now, from that perspective, let's talk about what is a stock watch list. When Roger gets up in the morning and takes a look at what's happening in the market, he does notice that there are stocks that look from his perspective to hold the potential as stocks that he might want to trade. But that is a watch list. This doesn't mean these are automatically stocks that he's going to take. And if any of these tickers reaches a point or crosses a level or reaches a setup that he likes to see, more than likely he will take that trade and he'll post that in the trading pit or in another one of his premium alert services. As far as Roger's pre-open thoughts are concerned, we did notice that the indices were basically, wow, shoot, this is Hmm. Anyway, this first statement is wrong. And the indices were not up sharply. That was I don't know how that got in there. But anyway, the futures markets were actually down a bit, not significantly, but they were off. As far as the put to call ratio was concerned, it was in balance, but it was really starting to favor the calls. All right. So a few days ago, it was heavy for the bulls. Now it's starting to favor the calls. The VIX was flat, but it was holding above that key 26 level. And if you remember these levels, as far as Roger's concerned, he wants to see the VIX ultimately go below 20. That would be an indication to him that, quote unquote, the war is over. Things are back to some level of normalization, and the VIX would report that. But right now, it's at the 26 level. He did note that the SPY, the QQQ, the MAGs, the Russell, and chips were all lower, below key levels of support, whether those are moving averages or VWAPs or whatnot, but they had dropped below those levels. As far as the trend is concerned, the trend is bearish. Less than 50% of the SPY and the NASDAQ 100 stocks are above the 200 moving average. And as far as momentum is concerned, it's also pointing down, with less than 25% of the SPY and the NASDAQ 100 stocks above the 20-day moving average. So once again, the longer trend and the shorter momentum moving lower. So as far as Roger's concerned, he says, guys, I'm about 60% bearish, 40% bullish. So he's slightly bearish on the market, although he does believe that things are oversold and we're due for a bounce back. He is a bit concerned, though, that the bounce that we saw yesterday may not hold. We saw that initial bounce in the market off of Trump's posting. Then we saw that retracement down to almost about more than 50% of what the gain was. And his question is, I just don't know if it's going to hold or not. So from that perspective, he said, look, folks, I'm expecting a choppy trading day, and I'm going to keeping a sharp eye on the index levels to see if we break through some of those areas of resistance, and always keeping an eye on the VIX. So we're delighted to have you with us here today. We got a great group of people, and Roger's put together an excellent agenda for today's session. He's going to begin with his midday market analysis and his updated stock watch list. And then he's going to pivot and give us a continued demonstration of the Pro Trader dashboard, which is one of the fundamental platforms that Roger uses in assessing any trades that he takes in the markets. He's going to share with us how he uses the Pro Trader dashboard to find swing trades. He's also going to share how he uses critical tools in the Pro Trader dashboard to confirm his trading ideas. And then he's going to share us how he selects the best options depending on the time of day when he looks to take a trade. And lastly, he's going to talk about how he identifies anticipatory trades versus confirmation trades. What's the difference between the two and how it impacts his decision-making process. Now, if you've got any questions during Roger's presentation, please type them in the chat window, and we'll address these periodically throughout the session so as to not interfere with Roger's presentation. And remember, folks, I have opened the chat window to everyone, and we do have some ground rules. Number one, always be kind and supportive in your posts. Please keep to the topic. No political discussions allowed whatsoever, and try to keep those side conversations between one or two of you to a minimum. This is not a general chat room, folks. We are here to focus on and learn from the education and the information that Roger's sharing, because after all, he's here to give us an edge in the markets and to help us become much more confident and consistent in our trading activities. And with that, let's say hi to the team. Hey, Roger, good to see you, my friend. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm just going to take a second and forward these messages to my different channels. It'll just take 1 second. How are you doing today? We don't have to stop talking. I could do this
No,
live.
it's good. And I just want to also acknowledge Matt. Matt, it's good to see you. How are you doing today, buddy?
Pretty good.
He's
Excellent.
how are we doing today, Matt? Points wise.
We're our first trade we made I think $1.77 on, and then we're in a $2 winner at the moment.
Ah,
All
man,
right.
that's great.
So we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
All right.
And once again, and Roger, I always enjoy your morning briefings, and you left us basically saying 60% bullish, 40% bearish. And as you said technically, guys, this market's oversold and it wants to bounce. It
It
just
does.
does.
It
And
does. It
so
does.
from that standpoint, I think we might be seeing that. We
Yeah.
dropped into some pretty critical support, and it looks like we're coming back a bit. Now the day is still young. We're halfway through the trading session, and who knows what news flash might hit us, but I think things are kind of moving in the right direction.
They're definitely moving in the right direction. They're definitely there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. I mean, again, I don't know. Never saw any VIP on email. Sorry, Bev. Do you usually get your email? Let me know. Let me know.
That's Roger, turn that off. Turn the
Yeah,
chat
yeah,
off.
yeah. Let me go ahead and turn that off. But yeah, I'd like to know about the emails. We didn't get our emails. Let me know if anybody else didn't. But anyways, let's begin. Let me actually move my. I mean, it's been a very busy morning today.
I bet it has.
It's been a very busy morning. I want to ask you folks, did anybody take, what was that winner on True Trend, Matt, the one we just took?
SCDG.
SCDG. And did anybody take the winner in
Stealth.
Stealth Surge, the GLW trade? It was a day trade. We broke our rules, Raleigh. We did a day trade today in one of our programs. And the reason for that is it was making too much money too quickly.
Hey, how could we argue with that?
If
Taking
I have a
profit early.
if I have a trade that's up over 20% in the same day I get in, that usually is a very good risk to reward ratio for holding a trade and I get out. It doesn't happen often, maybe once every 3-4 months, but so we took GLW off today. We took SCDG off today. That was from last night. We made money on both of those trades, and we made money in on one trade in high flyers, and we're pretty much broke even right now on the trade that we have in the pit from yesterday. So we're doing okay in this crazy nutty market. But what I wanted to show you was this. Here's that gap down that we had, and here's how we filled that gap. Okay. So we completely filled the gap from yesterday, right now, as of right now, and we've been above the VWAP most of the day. The problem is, if you look at the 200-day moving average, this isn't looking pretty. We really need to get on this side of the fence.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, here, there's a couple of things I mentioned this morning that I want to talk about. Let me go to my filters right here. So we're now at 153. Yesterday we came in at 118, and right now we have 153. So momentum is actually slightly weaker than it was yesterday. And the market's down just a hair right now, still based on where it closed yesterday. So this is not unexpected, but it's sure a lot better than 740. Okay. Another thing that I wanted to bring to everybody's attention, we missed this. The only thing we missed this morning. We are starting to we're starting to see speculative stocks here again. You got the semiconductors, you got the financials, you got the Russell 2000, you got the retail, and you got industrial. Russell 2000 is the most sensitive to interest rates, and the sector has been coming up. That's pretty good. I like what I'm seeing there. So I'm hoping that this number continues moving higher, but so far we're moving in the right direction. We went in 2 days from 740 to 153. That I'll work with that. And there's a lot more stocks on our watch list today than yesterday. But most importantly, what I'm really liking today, and I mentioned this in the morning show, by the way, I said one of the biggest things is going to depend on momentum levels today. And I said ADD is going to be very important. Notice we opened at 1600, and I did say that. I said the ADD is going to be very important. That's really weak levels. That's a trend zone. But look at that. We literally made the low on that bar, and we've been going higher nonstop. And now we're actually, wait a minute, we're not even negative. We're now positive 362. So momentum is, and that's not really that strong. That's negative 362, positive 362. That's just random noise. But my point is momentum completely reversed. And we're getting closer to fair value area over the last 5 days. And I think we need to go back to that area. Actually, I think we're going to break out. But the level you guys want to watch right now, one of the levels is 657.53. 657.53. That's the 5-day point of control. That's the highest traded area in the last 5 days. Okay. 657.69. And again, it's not going to be exact, but in the 657 area. And also, you'll notice Vold till about 20 minutes ago, it's been going straight up as well. Just moving straight up. And remember what I said to you. Remember what I said to you this morning again. I said, and I did say this, for the last several Mondays, especially since the war began, we've been seeing Monday as a run day and Tuesday as a trend day. Excuse me, as a choppy day. And usually Mondays are choppy day and Tuesdays are trend days. And also, just FYI, it's not typical to have 2 trend days in a row. Okay? That's not typical either. So we've been kind of reversing the course. And by the way, I said all of this an hour before the market opened. I didn't say this after the market opened. I said all this before the market opened. So it really does, it does really help. It really does help. Okay. All right. It really, really does help to give you guys that information. Raleigh, would you let the team know what David F just posted about the
I
link,
did.
please?
I have.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
I got
Thank you.
Roger. I got
Thank
it.
you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So momentum levels, my friends, are getting better and we are choppier today. Now, a few things that I'll be looking at over the next few days. Again, I know we covered this a lot, but I know a lot of people want to hear it again. A lot of people are not here in the morning, whatnot. So just FYI, I want to make sure volatility comes back into here, and it looks like it's moving in this direction. It's clearly not up here. This is we're escalating the war. This is the worst coming to an end. And I've been telling you this every day. This right here, when we get back to this level, below this level, once we get below 20, it's done. There's no, basically, what I mean by done, it doesn't mean the war is done. It means the market has assimilated the war within its value. That means the war is no longer a trigger. To give you a good example, well, no, to give you a really bad example, the Ukraine war. You know, the first 2 days, 3 days, 4 or 5 days of the war, markets were really, volatile, and then they just kind of forgot about it, right? Same thing with tariffs. Remember when Trump just got elected, he would talk a lot about market hours. He would talk a lot about tariffs, and the markets. And then little by little, it just started having less and less of an impact. And again, this is not a political discussion. I'm just explaining to you how markets work. It's like the boy who cried wolf impulse. It just gets priced and priced and priced into the market, to a point where the market can pretty much foresee everything well in advance. And we're not there yet. We're not here. This box, we're not even in the box. This box needs to. I don't remember exactly how I came up with the height of this box, and it really doesn't matter because if the 8 days right there, so it's perfect. So we need to start moving below. We want to make sure the 8 day does not look. I'll blow it up for you. We want to make sure the 8 day does not hold here and breaks down, and we want to make sure the 15-day doesn't hold, and then we're going to be coming in. But those are the things we want to see aggressively. Okay. And by the way, heads up, Google is breaking down right now. We'll talk about my Pro Trader dashboard, but I'm watching Google right now, and Google's in the second profit target, and on a daily chart, it's breaking down. Okay. Just FYI. Google breaking down. And we'll talk about the Pro Trader dashboard in a minute. Okay. So again, we want to see volatility here. And lastly, we want to see here. We want to see my energies. We need to see energies below this level. So right now, very, very important. As far as the broad market, folks, we're still in a really, really deep doo-doo. I mean, this looks better than it looked this morning. We're just a hair above the quarterly VWAP, which we just started tracking 2 days ago. We
Mhm.
need to get on this side of the fence. Let's look at SMH. I was looking actually, and it looked really strong this morning. See, it looks really strong, but we're not on this side of the fence. We need to get on this side of the fence. Until we do get on that side of the fence, nothing good's going to happen. Okay. Any questions before we move on to the stocks that I'm looking at right now?
No, all good, Roger.
Okay. Okay. All right. And again, I'm not looking at the chat. Chat is closed, but I'm hoping that
Several people have commented they took advantage of the trades you had talked about, like Sedge, for example, and GLW, and that's in your other services.
yes.
But they
Yes.
did quite well with that.
Okay, good. Good, 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 good. But you could see folks right now, we're still consolidating. We're still this kind of helps people see it a little better. We're still in this consolidation area right here, this channel. We still haven't broken out, but I like what I'm seeing, and I like the fact that we're not leaning to the downside, we're leaning to the upside. But we need some type of a catalyst like war ending, something like that. That would go a long, 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 long ways into making me feel warm and fuzzy. Okay. All right. All right. So, all right. Let me give you guys stocks that I'm looking at currently, and we'll go from there. I'm going to give you the short side first. Okay.
Okay. And folks, I'm going to be recording these and I'll go ahead and post them in the chat when Roger's done.
Um, there's CRM. Don't really know why I have this here, but it's actually an A line to the downside, if you will. Right here. There's your entry right there. Bring that lower. There's your entry right there. And you could see right here. Here's your channel. See how we break down from the channel?
Yeah.
Matt, can you set an alert on WDC at 303? Sorry, guys, 1 second. Can you set alert 303 on WDC? Thanks. Okay. TTD, Trade Desk. This stock is, I don't think, and I'm not joking, I don't think any stock has been in the news in the last month more than this stock right here. I mean, it's just been like all over the news. But we're almost back down to this candle. That is still an A line, technically. Here, you could see it right here. Yep, right there. Okay, let's continue. Wow, look at this trend. You know what's funny, Raleigh? I don't even know what this company does.
CBZ?
CBZ, yeah. I don't even know what they do.
I
Look at
don't
that.
either. It's a new one to me. Yeah.
See what I'm saying? But look at this. Look at how well the stock moves. That's a 10 out of 10 trend right there, folks. Look how predictable this is. You could close your eyes, you can hit it with a dart, and if you're short, you would make money on this trade. Look at this. I'm not talking about, we don't know what the future holds. I'm saying like anywhere here. Quality trend. How it got there. How it got there. Very important. Okay. PayX. Also an A line. Now I'm going to tell you something about these A lines. I like A lines that like don't go further than this, but technically, notice I say technically it's an A line. I wouldn't trade this like an A line, but technically it's an A line because you could see how the VWAP. Look at that perfect location right there. So it isn't, but I like the pullback to come back down in the direction of the trend, like no more than 2 weeks after. After that, it just becomes a consolidation. So again, that's just something you learn over time. Okay. Etsy. It's a nice breakdown here. Again, is this an A line? It is technically. And yeah, you could take a short off of this. Look right here. Look at that. But it's kind of consolidating. It's more like a breakdown from a consolidation at this point. but technically it's an A line, and you could still use it to gauge trades. You could just put the VWAP right at the bottom. Let's continue. PTC. Hey, Matt, something with this light above me. It's like flickering. Just some. We may want to check it out afterwards. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a very nice breakdown. Again, this is not a an A line. This is a breakdown. It already broke the A line. The A line would have been right here somewhere. That already broke it right there. Nice. I'm showing you really nice bearish stocks today, folks. You could do a lot worse than these stocks. Okay. Okay. Wow. That is a beautiful stock. I'm telling you, I'm giving you guys like red meat today. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
See, low risk. Why? Because if it goes right here, you know, you can remember the lowest risk opportunities are trades you can negate as fast as possible.
Yep.
What is the purpose of getting into this trade? That it broke this channel. Oh, okay. So if it goes back into this channel, you don't want it. And the 8 days right there. And the 15's right there. That's a low risk high. And again, this is for educational purposes only. Okay. I don't know how liquid the options are. I don't know when earnings are. And I do. I mean, I know all this stuff, but I'm saying I'm trying to teach you right now. Because I'll get an email once every month. Roger, I took 8 of your watch list trades and none of them made money. And my answer is, why are you taking my watch list trades? You're not supposed to take my watch list trades. My watch list trades are watch lists. They're watch lists. These are stocks on my watch list, not on my trading platform, on my watch list for a reason. Okay. That's a very nice. See, we have that shoe again, Raleigh. Keep seeing that Italian boot.
With the arch and then back to the toes. Yep.
See that every time. I think podiatrists would be good. Good
traders.
You like that? Huh?
The plantar fasciitis trade.
Exactly. I'll take a quick second on this. Everybody here knows I watch Dateline. There was a really juicy Dateline last weekend where a podiatrist hired a hitman to kill his wife. Oh, and the cops were really feeling bad because they were both clients of this podiatrist, the undercover cops. And they're like, who are we going to go to now? We're going to arrest our podiatrist. Anyway, Dateline, you can't. Sometimes, they say truth is stranger than fiction. If you don't believe me, just watch Dateline. Amazing. All right, let's continue. Sorry, folks. I had to say that. Take two. The stock looked so good, I had to do a take two. All right. Nice arch right there. Nice breakdown right there. There's your breakdown line right there if you're not sure. Again, this is not, it's too, right here it would be an A line. Maybe right here. This is too much. This is just a consolidation. But consolidations are fine. There's so you guys know, you don't lose any probability in terms of risk, or it's the same high probability type of trade. It's based on the same principle. And theoretically, the longer the consolidation, the better the breakout. So in theory, this may actually have even more edge than. My point is, don't look at this as a worse trade than an A line. Don't think that. It doesn't. Okay, and the last one, Hubs. And I'm going to tell you, folks, the trades that I've shown you today are really nice shorts. Really nice shorts. Really nice shorts. Look at that. See that? Breakdown. And if we do here, let's do that. And there we go. Look. How did I know that was good? And I don't do this beforehand. I really don't. I don't have the time. And I really don't care. But look at that. Right here. Right here. Right here. So we got something to work with here.
Roger, the thing that always crosses my mind when you do this kind of analysis is how important it is to understand what's happening on a daily basis before you look intraday. Because for those that
Yes.
are focused on intraday, it can give you a false picture.
Like this. You're looking at everything like this. Like this. It's I could day trade without the 5 minute chart. I could day trade based on the
Hmm.
and I know Richie can as well right now. Now he can. He can. He doesn't even need the day. Oh, for indexes you do, but for stocks he doesn't even need it. I don't even know if he's here right now, but I could tell you that that I the daily chart. The daily chart tells you what and when. No, it tells you what. The intraday tells you when. This tells you what. But I could just use this and trade off of this. I've done it many times, and it's fine. Okay. All right. The bigger picture always prevails. Okay. Long stocks. Okay. AT&T. It consolidated for a real. This is what a lot of those stocks are starting to look like right now to the downside that I just showed you. It's a nice breakout right there. Not that far from the 8-day. Nice look. GLW. This is a stock we just took a profit on. And Matt, if it gets to the VWAP about 140, you may want to re-enter it actually. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Set an alert for yourself. There's no law against that. I don't think anybody would be upset at us for doing that.
Roger, what was that first ticker that you mentioned? I'm sorry.
It was AT&T.
Okay.
Ticker T.
Ticker T. Yep.
Yeah. And here's your GLW. This stock is just getting ready to go. We just happened to take a nice, I think 20. How much do we take, Matt?
Like 28%.
We took 28%. When you can take 28% in 20 minutes or half an hour, you do it. You always do that. You're making a lot of money in a very small period of time. You do that. You can always re-enter right at the VWAP. But I like this stock a lot. As a matter of fact, there's nothing wrong with this stock. Did you put for folks if they want to hold on to it, that's okay? It's got more meat on the bones?
No, I haven't.
I asked you to do that. Go ahead and do that. Thank you. Okay. It has plenty of meat on the bones. Dow, that's a beauty right there. That's a very nice look. And it's been moving really strongly all day today. Very, very nice look. Very, very nice look. Here, let's. Boom, there you go. Okay. You're right here. This is a no, this is a yes. It's so strong that it didn't even didn't even do a round like this. It didn't even do this, Raleigh. It just kind of went. The market's been going down, right? What has this stock been doing for the last 5 days? It's like this. By the way, that's the stock Richie told me about this morning. So thank you, Richie. Great look. Great look. Just look at the market in the last 5 days and look at this stock in the last 5 days. Tells you everything you need to know. In addition to the fact that it's near, nice swing. It's been moving up this entire time. Okay. BG. That is an A-line right there. That's a classic A-line. Right there. There's your view up. Right there. Nice trend. Real clean. Real clean look. ADM. ADM is very similar to BG, folks. So one to a customer. One to a customer. One to a customer. The one that has the better, more liquid options and tighter spreads. But you could see it right here. It's ready to go. This is a good sign. This is a bullish sign, folks. Because during war, when you have increased war, you have less interest in farming and obviously those kind of things. Dell. I would not, at this point, right now, I would either take a pullback to the VWAP, about 170, or I would day trade this, assuming the volume bars stayed white around here. Not right now at this very moment, but, I mean, very nice. Very nice. Notice no yellow candles here. Just white and regular candles. Got one yellow candle right there before this thing started moving. So I like what I'm seeing. Are you long right now, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
I figured. All right. Dell, and last but not least, FTI. That is a beauty right there. I'm giving you guys real red meat today. Can you tell, Raleigh?
They're fantastic, Roger.
They're getting the filet mignon today,
Mm-hmm.
They're giving you guys good stuff. I'm actually curious how the volume on this stock. I mean the options on this stock. Yeah, they're not bad. The market maker will work with you. He's going to work with you. It's not too bad. See, like right here, you've got zero option liquidity, right? But look at the spread. It's 60 cents. This has 50 cents. This guy, you can work with this guy. You can get stuff in between. See, you could see the trades are getting through. It's a guy that's what you need to look at when you look at an option chain. You need to ask yourself, can I work with this market maker or can I not work with this market maker? And I showed you guys yesterday several ways you can tell, including our trades going through the mid between the bid and the offer and our options that have no liquidity, no volume, showing the same type of spreads as options that have some liquidity. And in this case, it is. Okay. And you know how else you could see if a market maker wants to work with you? Raleigh, this is the worst way. You place an offer and then he widens it. You place another offer and he's just giving you the middle finger, you know? He's just like, I'm not gonna fill you. I'm just not gonna fill you. Let's keep playing games. And you could see it in real time, you know? In real time. Okay. So let's review a little bit of what do we have any questions before we
Yeah,
move on?
exactly. So a couple of quick questions here, Roger, and you can address them however or whenever. But several folks were wondering, Roger, how are you finding these stocks? And I've responded to them that you're using a scanner, you use the ProTrader dashboard, things of that nature. But is there anything else you'd like to answer with regard to that?
I
How do you
use
find these stocks?
I use two methods to find these stocks. Before the market opens in the morning at 8 o'clock, well, 7:30 is when I sit down at my desk. You know, I got this one light, Raleigh, on top of me,
Is it
one, and
flicking?
it's flickering, and it's making me feel like the lights are going on and off, and it's just this one light. So it's like giving me like I can't even.
We don't notice it here though.
Oh, that's good.
But
That's
that's
good.
okay. But you're aware of it.
It's just right on top of my head, and it keeps turning off and on, and I keep thinking that I'm losing electricity. So I apologize if I'm a little bit not myself today. This light is just bugging the living crap out of me. So here's what I wanted to show you. So in the morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, 7:30 in the morning when I wake up, I have this list, and um, I like to use the A line long and short. I like to use the 90-day, and I like to use the 52-week. Okay. Those are my primary signals. And I like to look at this. So I do that before the market opens and I create a list. See right here? I create this.
Right.
Then after the market opens, I use the Pro Trader dashboard, which we're talking about right now. And this is how I get this list. And sometimes the stocks that are on this part of the list, can you see my lists? Can you kind of see the paper?
Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes the stocks that are on this part of the list make it onto this list. Sometimes they don't, but this is my morning list and this is my afternoon list. And this I use the stock fetcher and this I use the Pro Trader dashboard. And sometimes it'll be a struggle and sometimes it'll be like yesterday, it was a struggle. It was a real struggle. Today, it's effortless to find stocks because of the pop we had. You know what? Let's add one more stock to our watch list, Verizon. It's looking pretty good. I'm seeing it right now. It's actually looking really good here. So let's add Verizon to our watch list, okay? So anyway, that's the morning, and then in the afternoon, or not in the afternoon, after the markets open, I use these. And this is my Pro Trader dashboard. Here, see it. And this looks for all of the stocks. I have one here and I have one that I'm creating on TC2000, but this is the one that we sell. This is the Pro Trader dashboard. And you can see that it's calculating here, it does it from the bottom up. And here it does it from top to bottom. And most of you, when you buy the Pro Trader dashboard, you get it like this. You get them together on one sheet. Basically, it goes from the strongest to the weakest. It starts here and it goes here, but it's just on one sheet. Because I know a lot of you don't have 9 monitors, right? So,
Yeah. What are the chances?
so this is right here. This is the Pro Trader dashboard, and this is what I'm looking at all day long. Okay. So I'm looking at this. This has my, oops, excuse me. This has my daily chart, and this has my intraday chart. And I'm looking at these two scanners. And right now, if we just press that button, it's just almost done loading it. It depends on how many stocks it has. But so let me show you, since we launched the Pro Trader dashboard, all the different changes we made to it, okay? So high
This is
volume.
great.
Yeah,
So,
so
Roger, the other
yeah.
question that came up, and once again, address it as you see fit because it's a more general question, but it is this. So, Roger, how do we trade your watch list? And I know that's a longer answer because, folks, it is a watch list, and Roger has specific things that he's looking for in order to consider the trade. But that was the other most often asked questions.
Well, how
Converting the
about this?
watch list into something I should act on.
Well, I'll tell you this. Let me show you the features we made in the Pro Trader dashboard in like 3 minutes, and I'll go through all those things. Okay? How about
That's
that?
great. However you want to do it, Roger.
Yeah. So let me show you. So one of the things I look at is high volume candles. See these high volume candles? Okay. So look, the regular color is green and red, right? Okay. You see this candle here? You see this candle here? You see this candle here? You see how they're white and yellow? So whenever volume gets above a certain range, these candles, they turn a different color. Okay. You could actually see them more right here. See right here? See them. You could see them right here. You could see them right there. Okay. You could see it all right there. Okay. So this is something new we made. So if I have a stock on my watch list, or if I like a stock on a daily chart, I will look for the scanner, show me, where's my, I just had it here. See high volume candles? So I'm looking at my scanner and I'm looking at these stocks in green. Anything in green means stronger than the market right now. And I'm looking for these areas. And that's telling me that the candles are turning white, or in this case, white. Or if I'm looking at this, I want to see yellow candles with high volume. So this is a yellow candle right now on CELH. CELH is having so let me show you an example here. Okay, there we go. Look at this trend. So if volume continues moving up, it's going to become a yellow candle just like that. But we could tell by looking at the scanner that volume is high. So if I'm looking at these, so all day long, I'm looking at these stocks. And if I see one of the stocks that are on my watch list with high volume right here in the top 10, boom, it's in play immediately. So
Right.
that's one way. That's one way. Okay. Those are my scalps. So again, I'm going to show you this again. I take a look at my scanners. Here's scanner. This is another scanner. And this is the actual dashboard. And I look at the combination of relative weakness or relative strength, and I match that with high volume. So one of the additions that we made to the scanner was adding this column, relative volume on a 5-minute basis. At the end of the day, I switched this relative volume to a 5-minute basis and this relative strength 5-minute to 1 hour. And you don't have to switch it. You could just save them and just close these and open the other ones. We could show you. You could that 10 seconds to do that. So, and that's what I look at between 3 and 4 o'clock for swing trades. Why? Because I want to find the strongest stocks on an hourly basis that are moving up with very strong relative volume. So, two changes that we made to the Pro Trader dashboard in the last few months was adding these high volume candles and then adding these filters so I could see the high volume candles. Okay. The next addition that we made is this breakout right here. So let's say I don't have high volume candles, but I have relative strength. And This, see how it doesn't have green? Some of them are not green. That means the arrow, that means it hasn't broken out yet. That means the arrow has not come in yet. So when the red arrow happens, that's when this turns red. So you see how red, I'm looking at these stocks, and if Google right now switches red, that means that red candle is going to pop. And
Okay.
if this turns green and I have this breakdown, boom, I'm playing this baby. So that's that's two ways we trade. We trade when we get the arrow on stocks that are on our watch list that we initially get from looking at the stocks right here. Okay? And we look for volume to pick up, or we look for the arrow to break out, to pop, one or the other. Like right now, as we're speaking, this stock 4, FOUR 4, is seeing heavy volume, heavy volume right now on a 5-minute basis. How did I know that while I'm teaching you guys? How would I know that? Because I have the scanner right here. See, I could see all the stocks that are showing heavy volume on a 5-minute basis. So this helps me figure out when I want to trade. Okay. So that's the second way I use this. Let me show you a third way I use this. So let's say right now I'm looking at GPC. Okay. Look at how strong GPC is. The third way I use to enter is I set an alert on the VWAP. Okay. I wait for a pullback. I wait for a very, very strong stock on my watch list to pull back to the VWAP. And if volume is high, which I could see here is very low, if I have relative strength, or if I'm doing the short side, if I have relative weakness on volume, I will engage with that stock. And then also I want to make sure that my oscillator is, my Master Blaster Disaster oscillator is on the right side. So you see how I match all of these components like relative strength, volume, Master Blaster Disaster, volume or strength. When you take stocks on my watch list, you're not doing any of that. And then you come crying to me, Roger, I didn't make money on your watch list trade. Well, of course you didn't make money on your watch list trade because I didn't give it to you as a trade. It's a watch list. That's just something I'm looking at.
It's like the first step in the process, the way I look at it. If you think
It's
about
called,
the thousands of stocks that you could trade,
it's called
Roger's
browsing.
watch list, today, this morning, you boiled it down to 20 tickers, 10 longs
Yes,
and 10 shorts. That's a
yes.
starting point. And then you drill down from there.
Exactly. So again, my paramount point here is, again, I don't just take trades. Let me show you another way I trade confirmations that are so when you're trading with using the Pro Trading dashboard, okay? Let me give you a good example. See right here, oh, it already gave the signal. But you see how right here it went to our first profit target? How do we know if we want to take the trade from the first profit target to the second profit target, Raleigh? Can anybody tell me? Does anybody know? I'm just going to open the chat for a second. Does anybody know?
Yep.
Does anybody know?
So the question is, do you
took,
know how to hold that trade longer and milk it for more money at the second profit target?
yeah.
How do you know if there's more meat on the bone?
How do you know if there's more meat on the bone after it reaches the first profit target? Cyrus, can you expand on what you just said? Man, folks here do not like to follow what I teach them. How about, I'm just going to see how long till people get it right. How far away from the VWAP, momentum, institutional accumulation. Let's see. Trend. Nope. Reset. Nope. I got an idea though. What do you guys think? How about we use one of my 5 patterns? 5 confirmation patterns. What do you think? That's a line there, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is.
Don't you love it, Raleigh? They'll tell you everything except the right answer, except the one staring you right in the face. What did I tell you? My 5 confirmation. I have 5 confirmation, 5 ways to confirm a trend. Would you like to see them all so you can write them down again?
I think that would be worthwhile, Roger.
I think so. Remember, I told you, no matter what you trade, no matter what time frame you use, no matter who you are, no matter if you're an investor or a 1 minute scalper, you need to know my 5 ways of confirming because they will apply to you. See how it's coming to haunt you? I'm watching you guys. You guys said everything except the question was, how do you confirm a trade that just broke one line and is ready to go to another? Well, how about using one of my 5 confirmation methods that's specifically designed for that?
Which is basically how to trade a trend.
Well, how to confirm
how to confirm in a
how
trend.
to
Yeah.
confirm support really became resistance, right? Isn't that what it is? And remember, I told you that it's going to apply to no matter what line. And remember, I said, I know you're sitting here going, this doesn't apply to me. I'm a swing trader. Or you're a swing trader saying, this does. See, look at Kenneth right now. I trade futures. And do you think this does not apply to you, what I'm about to tell you? I laugh. All right, I'm going to show you whatever you trade, whatever your time frame is, you're going to want to learn what I'm about to teach you right now. I told you, I warned you, I said you're going to be seeing this quite a bit, and you're going to be using it every time we need to confirm something. So when I said to you, hey, how do we confirm that this is an area and we could trade off of this and this is ready to go? Nobody said, how about we use one of your 5 confirmations? Okay, here's your line. Doesn't this line, well, Roger, what line is it? Is it an intraday line? Well, how about this? It could either be the 200-day moving average or it could be a one tick chart VWAP line. How about that? Capiche? Doesn't this line look just like this line, Raleigh?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it just a line? Don't you guys want to know how to confirm that an area has finally become support? Yeah, wouldn't that be a good idea? I think so. Okay, let's do it. So you asked me how these trades become actionable trades after they're on my watch list.
Right.
Well, volume, VWAP, lines. So let me show you. Step 1, price comes up here, never breaks below. You want about 5 to 15 minutes. You want 2 touches, and then you can break above this area. So it would go something like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Number 2, it went up, but it went up, but it broke that level. 1, 2, boom. Okay. So here you only need, actually, to be honest with you, here you only need 1 confirmation. Here. So here. Oh, okay. We could use that as a line. So this, boom. You could do this right here. You could do that. But if it went above and went below, you're going to need 2 confirmations. You're going to need 2 touches of this line. So, okay, so look. It went up. Oh, I hate when it does that. It went up, but then it went below. So you now need 1, 2. Understand? Okay. So again, let's do another one. How about it goes all the way up and you missed it? Goes up and you missed it. You wait for it to touch. You wait for it to touch again. You buy right here. How about it goes up, whoop, and then comes down? You want 2 above. Then you want to go. So how about this? That's my favorite one. How about when it does this? No confirmation needed. Go along here. It's consolidated here long enough. Okay? Each one of these trends, each one, that is a level, my friends. That is this right here. That is this right here. That is this right here. That is that right there. You need to know how to trade whatever level you think is relevant and important. I'm trying to teach you how to do that. Okay? So, pattern one. Do you see what happens? You start coming to these classes, you think you know everything, and next thing you know, you're like, wait a minute, how come my guru never showed me this? So, look. Oops. Go here. Boom, boom. You're good to go. Go like this. You gotta wait. You gotta have two touches. Okay? Anytime you
If it
can't
breaks
hold,
below the line there. Yep.
you need
Yeah.
two touches for you to get confirmation to go back up. Whether it's a small or a big break. So look. Let's say price. You want to buy right here, but you're too slow and it goes like this. You wait here, and then you go like this, like that. Okay? Whoa. Capiche? You're good to go. You need to understand this, and you need to understand how this plays out on every time frame and on every chart. And if you don't, you're not going to learn how to trade the way I do.
So if we
Okay.
go back to the chart we're looking at now, Roger, and the
Yes.
question was,
Yes.
what are how do we know if it's going to go to that second profit target,
Well, look, it went through here, right?
right?
Straight through. After it went through this bar, has it ever broken this bar yet?
Nope.
No. That's a one. You buy right here. That would be your entry right there. Right there. That's a classic. That's a classic one. That's the first one that I showed you. Came up, bounced. You can buy it right there. See that? Never
Yep.
broke this level. This never broke this level. Came straight up, bounced, touched the level, and now it's breaking up. There's your entry right there.
hmm
There's your confirmation right there. It's the same thing. Now practice it a little bit. Practice it a little bit, and you guys will be good at it. But here's the problem. If you don't have the Pro Trader dashboard, you don't have these levels. Okay? If you don't have the Pro Trader dashboard, you don't know if you have volume. If you don't have the Pro Trader dashboard, you don't have the Master Blaster Disaster Indicator. Also, let me show you what else we do that we added. See this right here? That's the stock. That's the index. That's the market. We always want to, if we're going long, we want the stock to be stronger than the market and stronger than the index. The index and the stock are one the same. That means we're at a danger zone because if the index sector, not the index, the sector, the basic material sector, see materials? If the basic material sector takes a dump, it's going to take the stock with it.
Right.
We want this to be up here. Up here. We want the stock, the sector, the market. So you see how this forces you to follow relative strength? Because if this isn't green, if this is red, that means the market is stronger than the stock.
hmm
That's a red flag. If you're not, if it's not cooperate, if it doesn't have volume, which it does not now, it's not a good stock. If you're going long and if this isn't green like it is right now, it ain't good. If you don't have relative volume, why in the hell would you want to buy this stock if institutions are not loading up on it right now aggressively? Just because it has relative strength, it's got to have volume too.
Right.
We traded already more than 50% of the daily range. We're only at 24% of volume. There is no institutions buying this stock aggressively right now.
Right now. So Roger, then, for example, I just want to rewind. If I had been in this trade and I had gone long, and just for the sake of argument, with 100 shares, I got to the first profit target, I took 50 off.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here going like, I got a confirmation to go long. So I'm in my position. But now I see that things have flattened out and I'm looking to see where, I mean, to me, this would be a signal, hey, Raleigh, you might want to consider getting out and taking your profit now.
And that's
Based on what you just showed, like the stock is below the market, it's not on top. Am I
right.
reading that correctly?
100%. 100%. Based on this right now, the problem it doesn't have any volume. So I would
Right.
never have taken this trade to begin with. Okay. I would have taken a
I was
trade
just
that has,
hypothetically. Yeah, I see what
yeah,
you're
I
saying.
would
Yep.
not have taken this trade to begin with. But if I did, I would have been out at the first level. I would never stayed in the trade without volume for more than the first level. There's absolutely no intensity in this stock right now at all whatsoever. But you could see that. You don't need me to tell you that. You could see it right here. You could see it
Hmm.
right here. It's red. It's red. Red means daily, hourly, 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute volume, relative volume. Do you see any redness here? If there's no
No.
green here, I mean, it's all red. If you don't see green here, and if this is it, and this is just to give you confirmation, like most of you know what percentage of the day we've already covered. Like right now, it's about 50. So this should be roughly at 50, 60%.
Hmm.
Good volume stock will be at like 150% right now. Okay. Just let me give you an example, okay? Do you guys want to give me to give you an example?
Yeah, and Roger, people are loving the examples, and I just want to reinforce, going back to that original question, how do I convert how do I know to trade something that might be on the watch list? And I hope you're seeing the steps that Roger takes to do that.
Okay. So look, do you see how much see this is green now, right? Look at volume percentage of the day.
Hmm.
Do you see the difference? The other one was what, 24%?
Right.
What is this one at? 83%.
Oh, yeah, and
And
we're only halfway through the day, so we're running hard.
right,
Yeah.
right. And so this is foolproof. If you don't like to look at these and then look at this, if you don't like to look at this, but look at this, but these together will tell you if there's volume coming into a stock. All it has to do is turn green. And not all of it has to be green. If one of them is green, that's good enough. Or if this is ahead of the day. And most of you know how far ahead we are. GLW, yeah, I will right now. This is a stock I gave you this morning based on Pro Trader Dashboard, GLW, okay? Look at where we're at. See, only one needs to be highlighted. This is the stock we took a 28% profit on this morning. Number one, do you see high volume candles? See white and yellow, white and
Yep.
orange? Those are high volume candles. Look at relative strength. Look at the Master Blaster disaster. Something else, look at this. Look at how far the stock is ahead of the sector and the stock right here. Why did I give you this stock? Why did you make 28% on it in one day?
Mhm.
White candles, high relative volume, high relative strength. Uh, the stock, look at how far ahead it is ahead of the sector and the stock market.
And the stock. And Roger, this was something that was identified on the scanner.
Yeah, and I gave it. I already have
Right.
a stock. I have a stock that we're already nursing in the pit. So I said I had an extra one and I gave it to Matt. I'm like, hey, this is a great swing trade. But we didn't know it was going to go up that fast. But it was just a great swing trade. So there's one right there. Let me give you another one real quick, just to kind of show you what I'm talking about. Okay, here, look at this volume, 98%. See that?
Hmm.
Let me give you another one. I'm just getting them straight from the scanner right now. VNO, 80%. See? So if not either this or this has to be ahead on the day. Let me give huh. Sorry, wrong ticker. 92%. See that?
Yep.
Look at the move. Look at how the stock is outperforming the market. Look how wide it's getting wider and wider. Look at relative strength and look at the high volume candles. See what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, folks,
It's
there's a
amazing.
method to this. So, all the additions that we made to the Pro Trader dashboard, we added the high volume bars recently. We added the Master Blaster indicator. We added the sector strength versus the SPY stock sector, so you could see it all right here. And we added on the scanner, we added the high volume 5 minute and in range. We did all that in the last 2 years. Okay. And that's the Pro Trader dashboard. And folks, to say that I rely on this Pro Trader dashboard would be it would be like a gross understatement. Okay. I literally have 6 screens. Heck, I even look at my sectors through the Pro Trader dashboard. Look, I mean, this thing is really valuable to me. That's the Pro Trader dashboard right there. That's it takes up a full screen. Okay. Very important to me. This is the Pro Trader dashboard. I have another one here somewhere. Hold on. Hold on.
And
Yeah.
folks, for those of you that have this, or we're going to move into a section here shortly where Roger's going to dive deeper into this program and give you an incredible offer on it. All of this education is covered in the master classes that are associated with this program. So not only is Roger giving you this refresher right here in the VIP room, and I'm going to give you a link at this point in time where you can see a quick copy of this. I say a quick copy or replay. Let me point that out here,
Now,
folks.
folks, I'm going to go through a class which will uh, go over what I just covered, but from a completely different perspective. I always find that when I'm interested in a topic, I always like to learn things and see things from a different perspective. Okay. So I just spent an hour showing you how to find and confirm trades using the Pro Trader dashboard. This class will give you a completely different perspective of the same thing. And by the way, today is the last day I believe we're going to have the special. So I highly, highly recommend you take advantage or at least pay attention. Spend about the next half an hour. Please pay attention. This is really important stuff. Now,
Sure.
folks,
And this, hold on for a minute, Roger. For those of you on YouTube, we're going to be stopping the stream to YouTube. So if you want to see the rest